I just realized his first descriptor of her was barely older than a girl, so she's in her early or mid-teens.
I'm not proud of what I'm about to do, but I need to find out that secret Rose is keeping from me. And if she wants her baby, I'll give her back her baby. I brought you your baby, Rose.
Did you bring me my baby? Did you bring him?
What did I just say?
Thank you so much, Mr. Sleepyhead. You kept your word. You brought me my baby.
Why do they animate the mouths normally, but not in cutscenes?
Now I need you to bring me a crib, like the one in the picture, Mr. Sleepyhead. And then I'll tell you the secret, the key that opens your chest of dreams.
Crib and a cradle are two different things.
Thank you. Now I can rock my baby to sleep and sing to him.
Now I need you to tell me that secret you promised to reveal if I brought what you asked.
Yes, our secret. I have something that belongs to you, Mr. Sleepyhead. It's the key that opens your chest of dreams. And now, it's yours again.
But it's a real key. Where did you get it?
I found it in your jacket after Rod and his wife gave me your clothes. When I got to my room, the key fell on the floor and made a clinking sound. I had just seen you sleeping in their trailer, like a big bear. And then I figured it out. It was the key to the chest where you were keeping your dreams. Because you like to dream, don't you? Of course you do. That's why your name is Mr. Sleepyhead.
The key that opens my chest of dreams.
The fact that
Thank you very much for your help, Rose. Take good care of your son. I should be going now.
No, please. Don't go. Don't leave me here. Now that I found my baby, I have to get away from here. Far away. I have to get away from the haunted castle.
Please let us at least
If you
save
leave,
her.
More men will come and hurt me, and they'll lock me up in the dark again. And I can't stand the dark. That's when those soldiers come back and take me with them. And now they'll want to hurt my baby, too.
The hunter was clear. I mustn't get mixed up in his affairs, or there'll be hell to pay. I'm sorry, Rose. I can't do anything.
Mr. Sleepyhead, I can't stand it anymore. Don't let them touch me again. Please help me. You have to get me out of here. Like the knight in the stories. You're my knight, and I'm your princess.
Good God. This is unbearable. Victims and executioners. It sums things up. And what was I? What was my role before the Great Wave?
Photographer, it said it on your
I
door.
can't just leave that poor girl to her fate. I have to do something to save her, even if I don't know what that is yet. I'll help you, Rose. I'll help you get out of here.
Thank you, Mr. Sleepyhead. Do you promise? Will you be my knight in shining armor?
Yes.
Knight in a bloody shirt. I would say, please let us at least save her, if nothing else. Oh man, I got my apartment key. But not my happiness. Alright. Mean old soldiers. Knocking out people's teeths. Jerks. This is key to solving the mystery.
Let's see if my intuition is correct. Yes, the key that opens my chest of dreams is a key that in fact belongs to Michael Argent, photographer. The key to my own apartment. It's the backdrop I used for the photography I did at home. It's hanging down from that wooden beam, held in place with screws.
Oh.
The corner of a photograph peeking out of this old music box.
This is probably going to trigger another flashback.
It can't be. It's me. This photo. I remember it. I remember this photograph.
Please, Michael, help us. Only you can do it.
And this woman she's Emily. She's my wife. Now I remember her. The person who's been communicating with me all this time. Emily.
You're communicating with the dead.
I love you, Michael.
And I now pronounce you.
Don't ever leave me.
I won't.
I have something to tell you, Michael.
Are you really? Oh, yes!
Things are not going well between us, Michael. You know that.
It's only a rough patch. You'll see. It's all your fault!
You have to get on top of this, Michael. It's destroying both of us.
Yep.
I'm afraid of you.
Shut up! Shut up! Everything will be different. Remember that vacation we took to the beach? And we were getting to know each other? Everything will go back to the way it was.
Promise me.
I promise. Oh, Emily, what does all this mean? Where are you? How can I find you? What are these messages you keep repeating in my head? I've lost my mind. I've lost my mind. That's the only logical explanation for this. Oh, Emily. My poor Emily. Where are you? How can I find you?
Well, he hasn't mentioned needing a drink since the game started, so I guess maybe he dried out.
It has a multitude of little drawers,
while he was asleep,
all labeled in alphabetical order. The existence of something so logical and orderly in this place surprises me. Judging from the state of my place, I was obviously a rather messy person.
Meh.
Central Outrider. That's the name of this newspaper. Now I understand. This file cabinet holds copies of newspapers and magazines my photos appeared in. It seems like as a photographer, I was very fond of my own work. Alexander Tribune. The title of this publication appears in the front page.
I'm gonna guess I'm gonna need something specific.
Dauphin News. One of the many newspapers stored in the filing cabinet. Rural Daily Advance. That's the name of this newspaper. The New Truth. The title of this publication appears in the front page. Sandy Ridge Sentinel. One of the...
Blah, blah, blah.
Solstice Times. That's the name of this newspaper. Union Country Messenger. The...
Wait. Ding.
Solstice Times. It's one of the many publications I was saving inside the file cabinet at home.
Alright.
A shelf with photos, discs, and dozens of books in every imaginable size and color. This must be the repository for a big chunk of Michael Argent's personality and tastes. What for? None of these titles means anything at all to me. It's like looking into a mirror and seeing a reflection you no longer recognize staring back at you. As dry and as empty as the contents of my memory. I see various liquor bottles scattered around the room. That explains the odor I find so unbearable.
Work closet. Yeah. Hell yeah.
A somewhat antiquated model of an instant camera. Despite its appearance, it seems to be in perfect working order. I only see one problem.
No
It has
film.
no film in it.
Where the hell am I going to get a film cartridge for something that was...
It's the backdrop.
Oops, it was antiquated back when I,
This must be the corner
back
where I did
before the
my
end of the
least
world.
complicated photographic jobs. Just a white backdrop, and these two shattered lamps to light the scene.
I think I've gotten everything.
The front door of this apartment has been reinforced with various locks and bolts. Despite the surveillance by the soldiers, the people who live in this building must be terrified of burglary and looting.
Wait. There's a quicker way out.
Impossible. No matter how hard I look, I can't find any address on the pages of this newspaper.
Okay, I may have actually cut out a lot of searching. And then I picked the wrong one this time. Because, as we all know, I'm not the brightest fish in the sea. Alright. I may have reloaded after digging through every drawer.
The New Truth, one of the many newspapers stored in the filing cabinet. It's the note I found in the door. Who could Sarah be? I think it will be hard. I don't think I'd gain. Union Country.
Union Country.
Union.
Union.
The new truth. First, I'll put the. As much as I might like my old photos, I have no intention of carrying.
Yeah, there we go. I forgot to re-get the right one. Doofus, remember? Alright.
Of course. The letters TNT on the letterhead of Sarah and Chris's note stand for the newspaper, The New Truth. I'll enter the address of the newspaper office shown on the front page. The map indicates a place near the main avenue of the city. Will it still be standing? Let's go find out.
Alright, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, or subscribe. Or not, I'm not the boss of you. I do not tell you what to do. Good night. Why do I always say good night? I'm recording this at like 1 in the afternoon. It's a catchphrase. Sort of. Not really. I don't know. Shut up. Earth und Nutrus. Ja. Welcome back, everybody.
God, Michael, is that you?
There's no question about it. That's the person I saw in my vision. The person mentioned in the note I found in my house. What was his name? Hello,
Wheelchair
Chris.
guy.
Come in, quickly. It's dangerous to be out on the streets at this hour. Michael, I'm so glad to see you again. After all that time without hearing from you, Sarah and I feared the worst. But tell me, why didn't you come sooner? Where have you been all this time?
From his enthusiastic welcome, it looks like this man and I were good friends in the past, before the entire world collapsed. But can I trust him? I don't know. Do I have any other choice? It's a long story, Chris. Very long.
I'm all ears, old friend.
And while I tell him everything I can remember, the few things in my memory since waking up in Rod's trailer, I see a mixture of tenderness and compassion on his face. Something I haven't seen in anyone else since waking up in this hellhole. I haven't the slightest doubt. I can trust this man.
5 minutes later, we're dead and being eaten.
I'm sorry for everything that happened, Michael. Sarah and I had been trying to get in touch with you for a long...
Repeat, we have our title, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, the Great Wave. People have been telling me about it since the moment I woke up.
Everyone talks about it, but no one really knows what it is. Did you know that the catastrophe didn't just strike here, but all over the world? They keep us isolated and misinformed. But that's the truth. The Great Wave didn't just destroy this city. It affected the entire planet. And the most surprising thing is that it all happened simultaneously, at the exact same moment everywhere on Earth. Isn't that amazing?
No,
There's never been an official account of the catastrophe. They don't want to tell us. But at The New Truth, we know a lot of things they don't want us to know.
They? Who are they?
The elite, the army, the shadow government. Whoever is in control at any particular moment.
Are you going all
They're
InfoWars
determined
on
to
me?
maintain the power structures of the old world by any means. The irony is, for the moment, any notion of order or control is absurd. The rules of the game have changed completely, and the entire world is slipping through their fingers. They're disoriented and frightened, and they'll do anything to prop up the old system. That's what makes them so dangerous. But information weakens them, makes them vulnerable. And that's why we have to keep investigating, Michael. It's our duty to uncover the truth.
Oh, man. Okay, but if you start going on about gay frogs...
The dissolved. That horrible disease.
Yes, the fate of those poor devils. That's the cruelest and saddest part of this story. From reliable sources, we've been able to find out that while it is true the Great Wave multiplied the number of dissolved drastically, a few early cases of dissolution were actually detected hours, even days before the catastrophe.
What? There were cases of the dissolved before the Great Wave?
Yes, Michael. Just a handful of victims scattered across the globe. But the timing is significant. What's more, people have told us shocking stories about those victims.
I could tell you one. Colin, the only child of the family that took care of me in the refugee camp, is dissolved. Just a few hours ago, in a deep trance, he shouted out my name, insisting that he needed to talk to me. He kept saying that he wanted to give me a message from Emily.
Good God, Michael. And what was that message?
I don't know. I haven't had a chance to talk to him, but I will. His condition is very serious, and I have to hurry.
If only we had more information about the disease, what it is, where it came from. If only we knew a little bit more about those strange underground highways they talk about so much during their trances. We need more information. At the New Truth, all we have are a few eyewitness reports here and there, and a handful of tests for detecting the disease that we were able to steal from one of the cleanup brigades. And that's not very much when you're trying to put together a puzzle as obscure and complicated as this one.
Dead Synchronicity? What's that?
It's very difficult to explain, Michael. We're still so short of information. But I will tell you one thing. Time is running out. The Great Wave triggered a landslide of death and destruction that's accelerating by the day. And the end will be absolutely devastating.
Look around you, Chris. It's impossible for the situation to get worse.
If the theory about the approach of the dead synchronicity point is true, the future that awaits us will make everything we've seen up to now seem like a walk in the park, Michael. The arrival of the dead synchronicity point will mean the end of the world as we know it.
But I feel
fine. The
fine.
end of the laws of nature, the laws of physics, the very meaning of existence. And with them, of course, the end of the human species on the face of the Earth. Our inability to adapt will wipe us out in a matter of minutes. And indeed, in some cases, it's already happening. But the good news is that if this hypothesis is correct, the very nature of this anomaly could also allow us to reverse the situation.
Reverse the situation? You mean avoid the future you're talking about? Avoid the consequences of the Great Wave? Is that possible?
Of course it is. How can I explain it to you? No, not yet. It would be too complex for you to understand, and I don't want to create any false hope. I can't tell you anything more for the time being. We need more information, more sources. And we need them urgently. Time is running out, in every sense of the word.
I need answers too, Chris. Where can I find the information you need? How can I help you?
A few days ago, one of our confidential sources in the Army contacted the New Truth. He told us he had a bombshell in his hands, an official report of the results of all the investigations conducted to date on the Great Wave, the Dissolved, and the Dead Synchronicity Point. It's a real gold mine, Michael. The answer to our prayers.
And where is that report now?
The same day she left the note at your house, Sarah was supposed to meet our source at the same place we always meet people who cooperate with the New Truth, which had been the safest place in the city up to that point, the sewers. But she never came back, Michael. I was hoping she'd found you, or perhaps some problem had come up in the sewers, and she'd taken refuge in your apartment.
Don't worry, Chris. Sarah will be fine.
Yes, I know. Sarah is a strong woman and very resourceful. I know she can take care of herself. If you want to help us, Michael, get us that report. I'm trapped in this basement in this wheelchair, but I know that you'll be able to get it for me. It's vitally important that we get it. That's where we'll find the answers to all our questions. Even answers about Emily and her messages. Follow the trail of Sarah and our source. Go down into the sewers and find some clue that can lead us to them. But be very careful down there. It's dangerous.
Dangerous? You just told me the sewers were the safest place in the city.
Indeed they were. That's why they became the perfect hiding place for the Dissolved and their families. For some time now, the Army has been reinforcing its dragnets for catching the Dissolved hiding in the sewers. If they find you in one of those tunnels, they'll shoot first and ask questions later.
I'll be fine.
Take this. You'll need something to guide you. The city sewer system is a veritable labyrinth.
Sewer
I've
map.
marked the exact spot where the meeting was supposed to take place. It's a huge subterranean gallery where several pipes converge. Michael, please, bring me that report. And for the love of God, bring Sarah back to me safe and sound.
I'll do it. Dozens of documents and newspaper clippings about conspiracies, attacks, inexplicable occurrences. Looking at the topics of all this material, I can imagine what the editorial line of The New Truth is.
I was gonna say the editorial, the New Truth sounds a lot like a what you call it, a propaganda newspaper.
Locked with a key. I'm afraid that Chris doesn't trust anyone, and the way things turned out after the Great Wave, he's doing the right thing. A beat-up armchair covered with patches. It's funny. It's pretty tatty, but it looks extremely comfortable. Oh Lord, I'm completely exhausted. I feel like I've been wandering around this new world for centuries, but I can't stop to rest now. Not until Chris and I have uncovered the secrets in that army report.
Okay. So we're gonna have to go down into the sewers after all. Hello, poo gas. Crud vapors. That's the subway. Eat fresh. But yes, every time. Alright. Look at it this way, at least I'm not making Jared jokes.
Wait a minute. I'm not going to climb down any further. It's totally dark in there, and it would be crazy to go into these sewers without any light.
You do have the flashlight that they could beat the crap out of you with, dude.
An army flashlight. And of course, I suppose it doesn't have any... Yes, it has batteries. And it works. Huh. Will this change my luck?
No.
Here goes. I'll use the map Chris gave me as a guide. These tunnels are a real labyrinth.
Oh crap. That water
This
sounds...
is the place marked on the map. The place where Sarah and her confidential source were found.
That water sound was making me feel the
underground
bathroom.
rivers that carried the sewage and garbage from Doomsday City laid here. If I ever thought I couldn't fall any lower, this place helps me remember how mistaken I was.
Gotta keep things in
There's a very
perspective.
familiar sound coming from the depths of the tunnel behind this grate. It's a subway train. I don't get it. If they boarded up the subway stops and shut down the subway service, what the devil are those trains carrying? And where are they going? Dozens of dark tunnels converge in this area. Most of them closed, or inaccessible from here. This place must be the true subterranean heart of the city.
For such a dark game, almost all the achievements are pop culture references. Waste heap.
I've been able to remove some of the waste, but I won't be able to remove the rest of it with my hands. This stuff is too snarled up.
Crowbar to my aid!
Right. Let's see what the devil's so tangled up in here. My God! Sarah! A bullet's torn off her jaw, but her face is still recognizable. Poor Chris. How am I going to break this to him? A flash drive. It's sticking out of the corpse's clenched fist. Sarah is holding onto it for dear life, even in death.
So she's holding on to it for dear death. Or dead deer. Or... Ah! I knew she was dead. Strong woman or not, those were bullets. Sorry, man. I am so
Chris.
sorry.
Michael, you're back already? Tell me, did you find Sarah? Did you bring the report she went out to get?
Yes and
I
yes.
brought the report. Here it is.
Oh, that's great news. I knew you could do it.
But where's Sarah?
Ah, damn it. I should have guessed. I was expecting a paper dossier, not an electronic document. We have a serious problem, Michael.
Problem? What's wrong?
Computers.
We're not in the old world anymore. And access to electricity is a privilege very few people have nowadays. The good news is that I was able to save my old laptop from the Great Wave.
He's not going to have any battery
The
left.
bad news is that we don't have anywhere to plug it in.
What can we do?
If we want to find out the secrets in this report, we need electricity. Bring me a generator with enough fuel, and we'll find all the answers we need, Michael. But tell me, please, did you find Sarah? Why didn't she come back with you? What happened?
She did.
I'm sorry, Chris. Sarah's dead.
God. But what?
It looks like she and your confidential source were ambushed and shot by soldiers in the sewers. I found Sarah's body in one of the graded tunnels, near the refugee camp. I took the report out of her hands, but I had to leave her there.
Oh, my poor Sarah. She didn't deserve that. Please, Michael, don't leave her body to rot in the sewers. I beg of you. Do it for me. For Sarah. For Emily.
Low blow.
I'll do what I can, Chris. I promise you.
Now, get me that electric generator. Time is running out.
What do we have here?
Chris's stuff.
As one would expect, there are only old magazines, stacks of paper, and outdated printing supplies here. No, wait a minute. It looks like there's also film for instant cameras here.
Alright. Oh, I remember these camera film cartridges.
Perfect. Now I can load the camera.
When I was like 5, 6.
The tab that closes the film compartment is broken. I can't use it like this. I need something to hold it in place, or else the film will keep falling out.
I'm out of duct tape.
Tie the wire to the camera? I'm afraid I'm going to have to be a bit more subtle if I want to repair this broken tab.
Magical crowbar, magical
I'm not
crowbar.
going to repair it that way.
Damn you, magical crowbar. You're
I
kidding.
can't believe it. The tooth fragment fits perfectly into the slot for the broken tab. Now I can close the film compartment.
That fat bald guy was helping us out all along.
Before leaving his house, I shoot a furtive glance at Chris. He's gazing at Sarah's photo in silence, completely lost in thought. Maybe I should have lied about what happened to her. Told him that she got away, leaving the report behind. That she's safe and sound, and just waiting for the right moment to come back.
He deserves the truth.
Is a poisonous inheritance from the old world. What good does it do to know it, if it snatches away your last hope?
That's a question I've asked before. But I have a flashlight. I just realized there's another place I need to illuminate before I do anything else. By the way, I'm going to make the Eat Fresh reference every time I actually reference the Subway Eat Fresh. Not just when I look at it. Not when I walk past it. And this will probably not extend to other games, nor will it carry over to other potential Subway entrances in this one. I'm just being stubborn about the number of times I've already made that joke, that reference. It's not even a joke. Boo-doo-doo. Got a camera and I've got film, so somebody needed a photo before they would give me access to the little boy for a little while, no questions asked. Dear God, why did they word it that way?
Let's see what this room actually is, with a little light.
Nothing horrifying? Really?
One of those electrical panels that control the different lighting phases in a building. The majority of the circuit breakers are broken or ripped out. All but one. All right. I'll flip the switch for the only circuit that's not blown. I think I hear the buzz of electricity coming from the surface.
Is there nothing else in this room at all? Huh. That makes no sense at all. Not really sure what I'm doing.